Um, this one is not important in any emergent sense. So if you're only interested in emergency, then just turn it off now. Uh, the reason I got to think about this is because of this system with the Myers-Briggs typology, and not because I'm so hooked up upon it, or because I feel it necessary to defend or speak for this tradition. Is more that I'm not educated. I do not have many references in practice. There is some rather relevant criticism directed towards this, and still, it's not really just. It's compared to astrology and things, but there is a difference. Astrology starts from how the stars were set at the moment when you were born, and this kind of popular psychological online tests, they at least make their analysis from your answers, and you don't. They only are what they are, and but they are what they claim to be, and they claim to be what they are, and you don't actually need to, if you don't want to care about how they describe these 16 personalities, and you don't need to fit in to them if you don't want to. It's just they just sum up your own answers and do whatever you like with this. And then there are some among the believers. There are some main traditions, or what you should call them. Those only summing up these codes, and those actually looking upon how you used your functions. And the former tradition would criticize the other from this perspective, saying that, yeah, you can't expect the theory to be all the way correct, and it assumes cognitive balance, which may or may not be there. You may type as an ENFP, but do not expect your functions to be exactly ENFP. No, but this may actually be because the test is incorrect. And more relevant in this case would perhaps be figuring out how do I actually use these functions, and type yourself from this instead. because it's not that far out. Balance. You should assume that most healthy minds, most healthy environments would be in some kind of actual balance. And then you have some kind of starting point. This is the healthy, more or less healthy starting point, and everything else would be deviations from this. Sounds quite reasonable to me, actually. And then you might say that if you type ENFP, although it seems as if you are actually, you have this feeling extroverted and thinking introverted polarity. You're not an ENFP with extroverted feeling. You're probably more like, might be an ENTP, only relying more upon emotions, or an INFJ who's learned this trick using extroverted intuition. Whatever. Starting from the other end. And this in general sounds like a very good idea, because instead of making a complete system and then try to fit things into it, take a look at how things actually seem to be, and make a theory out of this, and keep reforming this one, evolving it until it actually becomes more or less in line with how reality actually seems to be. And then you can start finding your explanations to why there still seems to be some kind of deviations from this, because naturally there will always be. And there are actually some specific reasons to why this particular view to the inner balance of the human mind seems to be rather close to this Jungian tradition. And or at least it seems to be in line with how we as humans look upon these things. And if nothing else, it's a slight bit interesting because of this. So fuck your assholes.